It's time to do a little bit of review about what we talked about last week and then to start our new assignment for this week. So last week we were working on our watercolor. You should continue to be working on that, and that is due on Friday or Saturday of this coming week. Remember, we are choosing one complementary pair and mixing it to paint each object. Paint your objects first, and remember, we want to try to maintain our shapes and our patterns, so we will need to allow drying time between our painting. After all of the objects are painted, we're going to keep the same complementary pairs to also paint our background. So all of our whole painting will be painted. We find our complementary pair by going directly across our color wheel, starting with our primary, so yellow and violet, red and green, and blue and orange. So you're choosing one complementary pair. All of this painting that is painted has used just one complementary pair so far for the entire painting. Okay, so that's our watercolor assignment. And last week we talked about our 1-point perspective. Okay, so talking about last week, we put a line across our paper, and let's go ahead and label this our horizon line. And on this side, let's call it the eye level. We have our dot in the middle, and since we're still practicing, let's go ahead and label that our VP. Remember, our VP is our vanishing point, and that is the point at which objects seem to disappear. Okay, today we're going to start by drawing a square shape. Please remember to use your ruler, and as much as possible, our square is going to be the same dimensions, and so we want that to be a square. Okay, so equal on all sides. So our rules that we talked about last time are drawing the flat side first. That was step 1. Step number 2 that we talked about last week is connecting all corners to the vanishing point. And remember, my ruler will want to slip off the vanishing point, so I want to make sure that I am on the dot and on the corner. So that is step 2. Step 3 was to end the sides. Step 4 was to erase, and we're just going to take out some of our lines, lighten those a little bit, and I want you to go ahead, step 5, I want you to go ahead and shade lightly the bottom of the object. And I want to be careful so that I stay within the shape at the bottom. Okay, now let's take a square shape and let's come down and let's put a square. Our second square is going to be across our vanishing point, or our horizon line, excuse me. So our second square is going to go across our eye level line or our horizon line. Okay. Step 1, draw the flat side. Now, because this is at our horizon line, it's going to look a little bit different. On step 2, I'm still going to use my vanishing point and my corner, still at the same dot. If you're having trouble making the dot make an X, and where the X's cross is where you're going to have your vanishing point. And now using my ruler, last week we talked about parallel lines. So I'm going to line up my ruler with the edge of my box, decide how long I want the side of the box to be. And there's the side of my box. Let's go ahead and shade lightly the inside side of the box. And it doesn't really matter if I'm shading horizontally or vertically or diagonally. Or I might use my cross hatching and go 2 directions. But have a plan. It's important to have a plan. So we're not just scribbling on the value change. And then we're going to lighten those lines a little bit. So now I have a box at the horizon line or eye level. Okay, let's try one more box or square, and let's put it below our eye level on the left. So again, flat side is first, rule number 1. Rule number 2 is all the corners to the vanishing point. So I'm starting at one place, and my ruler is going to want to slide off the corner as it just did. So it's really important to press down on the ruler with your fingers. And sometimes we need to turn our rulers around, so pay attention to the edge. I'm lining up my ruler with my vanishing point dot and the corner. Vanishing point and the corner. Rule number 1, flat side first. Rule number 2, connect corners to the vanishing point. Rule number 3, or step number 3, and the shape. So I'm going to use my front edge or my top edge. My line is parallel, and there's the top of my box. I'm lining up my ruler with the vertical edge, sliding it back till I get to the corner. And there's my side edge. Let's go ahead and shade the side. Lightly. And the shading helps remind us that values of objects change depending on the light, but also it helps us see that the object is more three-dimensional. So the shading helps in 2 different ways. Okay, now we're going to try 2 other shapes. The first one is, the next one is, what if we don't have a square? What if we have a diamond? So a diamond is a little bit like 2 triangles put together, or a square turned a quarter turn. So whichever way is easier for you to think about it, and I'm lining my ruler up with this edge so it's parallel, and I'm sliding it down. So there's my diamond. Okay, so even if I have a diamond, I draw the flat side first, and I'm going to connect 1, 2, 3, the bottom corners to the vanishing point since I'm above eye level. And again, I'm checking each time to be sure that I'm connecting my vanishing point and my corner as well. Okay, so now I've connected to the vanishing point. Step 3, to end my sides. How long is it going to be? It's not going to go on forever. And I'm lining up my ruler with the bottom edge so I stay parallel and come back to the corner and erase the edges. We're going to shade this side a little bit darker, this side lightly, and the front we're going to leave unshaded. Okay, all right, we're going to do one more shape together and then I'm going to give you the assignment. What happens if I have a circle shape? Well, some of our letters last had curves as well. So when I'm making a curved object three-dimensional, I'm going to find the widest part of the circle, and that's going to act like a corner. And my ruler is also going to still be on the vanishing point. And then I'm going to find the widest part of the circle at the top. And again, hang on to your ruler because it's going to want to slide off as mine just did. Okay, all right. So again, just like with our boxes and our diamond, this cannot go on forever. So between these two lines, I want to look at this curve, and the curve is going to match. So if I think about this as a circle, I can think about a circle fitting between those two lines. But this is not transparent, so we're just going to draw the outside edge of the circle. And we're going to shade on a curved object. It works really pretty well to curve our lines a little bit. And the highlight or lightest value is going to be on the top, and the darkest value is going to be on the bottom. Okay, I want you to draw 2 more diamonds on your page. Use your ruler, and 2 more circles. They can be at eye level, above eye level, and below eye level, and that is our assignment for this time. And remember to turn that in to Google Classroom. Also, I want to, before we close today, I want to remind you that all makeup work is due May 5th. Okay, so the only thing that we are turning in after May 5th is our perspective drawing. You can make arrangements to meet with me after school and office hours. Otherwise, office hours are 9 to 10:30 on Friday mornings. Happy drawing!